Okay.
So congratulations on your debut album coming out. How does it
Thank
feel?
you. Feels crazy. I'm not ready for it.
You're like, suddenly it's time to put these songs out there and I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, it's wild. It's happening so soon.
Does anything about it feel like scary? Are there songs that you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to put this out there?
So many songs. I think it's way more terrifying than exciting right now.
Okay.
It'll be more exciting when people hear it. I just right now I'm like listening to them on my own and I'm like, I don't know, but yeah, it's like we're so close. It's really
Right.
close.
Yeah. I've been able to listen to it. I've gotten the chance to listen to it. I love it so much. I actually think I've listened to it 5 times in the last day. So,
Really?
yes. So you have a fan here, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite song on the album, do you think?
Um, right now, maybe Boy X, but that's just for today.
Okay. That one is like gives you a
which
lot
is
of
your
feels.
favorite? I'm curious.
Well, okay. So I think my favorite, which is like kind of sad, is I Still Say Goodnight.
Aw,
Because it's like, oh, everyone's been there. Like you felt that feeling.
right. I agree with you.
So, and I think a lot
Aw,
of people are going to relate to a lot of them.
right.
And like, thank you for putting it out there because people like, I'm older than you, but people like me are still like, man, I've been through that.
Right. That's a good thing.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a bummer, but, but it's
No,
a good thing that we relate.
good thing we relate, not that you've gone through that.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks so much. When you feel them slipping away, it's really great.
Yeah, super good.
On Chaotic, you talk a lot about like growing up and how it's hard and all of that. What
Right.
like was that a hard song to write?
Um, honestly, it wasn't like necessarily like hard. It was just like kind of difficult because I was having a hard time like cracking myself open like in
Yeah.
writing sessions earlier in the summer, and I was like, I don't know what to write about. And I was like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now. And then I just had to like really dig down and figure out like what the hell I was thinking and like what was going through my brain. And that's why I think it was like such a vulnerable song. So I'm like, this is like some of my biggest fears that I'm talking about in this song.
Right.
Yeah.
What has people's response been to that? Because I feel like it is a strong response.
Yeah, that one, honestly, this the coolest moment ever. I released it like the day before I was playing like one of my bigger shows on my tour. And I was like, oh, no one's gonna know this song. Like I just released it like a couple hours ago and they were all like chanting it. And I was like, okay, I'll sing it. And I like started crying, a full body goosebumps because every single person in the crowd knew the lyrics. It was very wild. So I think they really liked that one.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was one that you had teased on TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like there's like a special power to those songs that you've been able to like give them a clip of, and then we all like latch onto them right away.
Oh my God. I don't know what it is. I think it's like sometimes when you listen to things over and over again, it gets like sometimes people like will listen to songs more and then they'll like it more the more they hear it. And I just think that people like once they hear it, it's like so familiar that it's pretty cool that you can literally release a song one night and then perform it the next and people know it. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that is. What like advice do you give girls who are going through similar things as you right now? I guess like growing up right now with you.
I mean, this like sounds so cliche, but you like have to like try and trust your gut and not let people try to change who you are. I think that's like I always heard that when I was younger, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I would never change who I am. Like, what do you mean? But I'm like, it's you. I feel like the people that you're around and the places you go. It's like, don't ever try to put on like a filter because there's absolutely no point. You won't end up being fulfilled at the end of the day if you're, trying to be someone else.
That's really good advice. And I feel like, again, I'm like, I'm older than you and like, I could use that advice some days. So we all can. Yeah. I feel like talk to ourselves through it. You were talking about releasing a song and the next day going to play it. And you're going to be at summer kickoff in a week here in San Diego. Will we hear songs from the album and like how many? a lot of them? Do you know yet?
I don't know yet. It really depends. Like, we'll see. We'll see if I have time to rehearse a new song.
Yeah, but some of them, obviously, I mean, will we hear like "What Would You Do"?
Maybe.
Okay, I'm like, that one's been out a little longer.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, that song, I call that song the perfect screaming while driving in your car song.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, it belongs on every breakup playlist, I think.
Angry breakup playlist.
Yeah, not the good breakups. No. you cannot listen to that and be like, no, but I still like them. It's okay.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah. Have you played here in San Diego before?
No, I don't think I have.
I don't think you have either. This is definitely your first summer kickoff because we haven't had one since the pandemic began. How do you prepare for like a show like this?
I mean, honestly, we've just got off of tour. So, I mean, it's like, I'm just excited to do something that's, gonna meet other people and see other artists. Yeah. I think it'll honestly be more fun than like any stressful event. I think it'll be like just cool to be like with everyone.
Yeah. And Charlie Puth is playing the show as well, who you worked with on this album, right?
Yeah, Charlie's the best.
Yeah. Who has been like someone you've worked with, I guess, aside from Charlie, because we love Charlie, who you felt like you learned a lot from?
I learned a lot from Phineas because working with him automatically, because I was intimidated by his writing skills. Every lyric that I would write, I wanted to make sure that I was like challenging myself and pushing myself. So I wasn't like settling for any like mediocre lyrics. I was like making sure that like anything I would say out loud in the room was like something that I really, really loved. And that I think that caused the song to have like really strong lyrics and some of my favorite that I've written. Just because of his presence, honestly.
Yes. Also the police going by right now.
Sorry,
like, hey, sorry about that. Do you feel like writing with someone like Phineas helped you, like you were talking about like cracking yourself open? Like, does that help you kind of create the rest of the album?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the thing about is like being in room with people who inspire you, because it's like if you're just with yourself, I feel like you can kind of get stuck in the same box where you're like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I sometimes will go into a writing session. I'll be like, there's no point in writing songs because every single concept has been done before. You know what I mean? And then sometimes I could walk into a room and be like, God, I'm so creative. I literally could write about anything right now. And it'd be so different. So it just genuinely like depends on the headspace you're in and depends on the people that you're around. And it's like, if you have people who are pushing you to like, go a little in a different direction than you usually do, I feel like that's when the best stuff comes.
It's so interesting to me that you say you were like more closed off, because I feel like you actually have this like special magic gift of vulnerability, and you make like vulnerability very cool. So I'm sure it's true. I'm like, man, I don't feel so lame for being like, I feel that because you put it in a song that sounds like I kind of want to dance to that.
Well, thank you. It was kind of hard. I mean, it's really interesting because like my friends would say like I'm pretty like closed off until like I'm a very private person, but all of my crazy shit goes into my songs. So
I'm like, I feel like we learn a lot about you in the album. So
you know everything about me.
Yeah. Do you feel like you learned from some of the, I guess, mistakes or things you went through that led to this album?
100%. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the people that I wrote about, I feel like I see the best in everyone. Like I'll meet someone and I'll just like look at how amazing they are. And I'm like, oh, no, like there's nothing wrong with them because they're so great in all of these ways.
Yes, totally relate.
And I'm like, I think the only thing about that is like, it's a great quality. It makes you a great human, but it also, people can like walk over you really quick.
Yeah.
Which, I feel like I learned, what kind of people I need in my life and how much you share with people.
Yeah. Do these people
Yeah.
know that these songs are about them? Like, do they know specific ones?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I
like
doubt it.
you haven't called them and told them.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, no. Absolutely not.
That would be a hard phone call to make. Like, hey, I'm so sorry. I say some things about you, but
I'm so sorry. I
but
hope you
also
don't.
I'm not sorry because you did this. So
Yeah, right.
the last thing I do want to ask is like, what is your take on the title of the album? I used to think I could fly.
So I used to think I could fly kind of talks about I'm really infatuated with the idea of how kids have a very like pure mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's generally just because they have no filter yet, like they haven't seen the world in any bad way. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
look at a young kid and they haven't like I use the example like why would you have a fear of heights if heights weren't scary in the first place?
Right. Like you didn't know it would hurt if you fell.
Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
I realized one day that I was like, oh my God, why am I so scared of heights? It's because my mom's scared of heights. That's why I find them terrifying. But Susie over
Yeah.
there, her mom wasn't scared of heights, so she's not scared of heights. It's like the people around you are constantly shaping you into the person that you are. So like
Right.
the relationships you go through, the situations that you experience are all making you into some sort of person. When you're younger, you feel like you can do the impossible. You feel like
Right.
you can fly.
And like choose wisely of who's around you and who you have relationships with
100%.
because it matters.
It matters.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so excited for you. I'm like such a fan. I cannot wait to see you at summer kickoff. We all in San Diego cannot wait to see you. So congratulations again. And we'll see you in a week.
Appreciate it. Nice meeting you.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.